Hi, everyone. So I have an amazing special guest with me today, Carmel Glenane. She's an author, has a Atlantis Writing School. It's a mystery school, by the way. And she's one of the most goddesses I've ever met that I just love. And so, hi, Carmel. How are you?
Brie, I'm doing wonderfully, and it's a great, great honor to be able to support you and your beautiful clients and attendees who are listening to your broadcast this morning in Australia. I am in service to the mother, and I believe that by being in service to the mother, we will be able to co-create together what everyone needs at their level. And I always like to say before we begin any session with anyone, it's simply to say, let's allow the group heart to join, regardless of where you are in the world. Listening to this, we are the one heart, and we are not isolating this time together between Carmel and Brie. Everyone who listens for as long as they can, and it doesn't matter how long, is part of a shift in the consciousness of humanity, because you are all opening up your hearts to receive love. You may expect miracles in this session, and I would suggest that you attune to your immortal intelligent hearts and expect a miracle from an issue that you have in your life you're struggling with. It could be your health or the health of another. It could be an emotional issue, your own, or an emotional issue concerning others. Your career, your financials, your soul's path, your fear of your own power. Whatever it may be, try and locate at this little moment in time, this little prism of light, that we can collectively help each of you at some level. Say, by listening to Dr. Brie, we were able to transform something that may have been on our minds and we've been in pain with all our lives. So you then become part of the journey. It becomes a loving group vibration for all of us.
So true. So true. Co-creating. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think co-creating and come from the heart is so
yes.
And that we stay in love. That's one thing that I'm so about, is staying in love. On the title of our banner, it says, love is a solution to everything.
Love is the only solution. And for humans to understand the nature of it, so that they can bypass the jungle of emotional love and go to what you are describing as true love, as the force behind the intelligent heart and love, is a huge shift in consciousness. Because the reptilian mind, and I call it a reptilian mind, co-creates with the emotional heart to cause chaos in our whole beingness, and we don't even know what love is. And we then get confused because we've fallen in love. We give love to our friends and our family and our colleagues or whatever, and suddenly we're betrayed. Stepping back into observing your emotional heart against the enormity of your intelligent heart is one of the biggest shifts in consciousness for humanity at this time. It is a collective vibration, and it is my intent that we can just allow that process to begin right now in the space that we're inhabiting for our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful attendees, those who are listening, those who have friends who may be listening, to say collectively, heart, I love you. I now expect miracles. I now give all love and all truth for our miracles to manifest, and I am grateful. And therefore, you've set the table for the dinner. The food arrives, fun times. So be aware of the synchronicities, Brie. Be aware of the patterns now with your beautiful a heart group who are listening, just what really happened. And share with Dr. Brie what you have experienced, because this is group healing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not you being in your mind, Carmel talking to Brie and Brie talking to Carmel. It's just the opposite of what my intent is for our time together right now, Brie.
Right, right. No, I agree with that. Since I talked to you last, I have been drinking so much water.
And you know, Brie, when you're going into heart consciousness, you are needing continually to hydrate, because every single cell in your body is being recalibrated.
Right. So we have
we need at least 3 liters a day when we're moving and shifting into heart consciousness, simply because our bodies are demanding that we release the emotional excess that is trapped in our molecular structure, in our cells, in our DNA. We're releasing toxins. So yes, you will drink a lot of water. Heart consciousness requires it. Our intelligent hearts need it.
Right, because I've been saying, heart, I love you.
Yes.
Since we talked. And what a difference. What difference knowing that I love myself and I love my heart. And it was like a change within minutes when you sincerely do this. And it's like changing. And it's like, oh, I can do this. I have confidence.
I think the biggest challenge, Brie, is the confidence. The first time I did a group activation for heart intelligence, I couldn't get the group to say, heart, I love you. We are nauseous in telling everyone else we love them to death. But say it to our hearts. People were in the group weeping at the enormity of the castration of their intelligent heart to their totality. And as I explained to you last time we spoke, it's a shock. Your body goes into shock to realize that you have never been told in your whole life that you have an intelligent heart and that it is the primary friend to be looking after you for the rest of your life.
Right.
When you view your life from that perspective, you will then find a life you could never have dreamed of. However, the mind will put up an incredible fight. It is a dinosaur, it is reptilian. And as you move into heart consciousness, the mind is going to rebel and strike cunningly and strike fast and furious. And its little buddy, its little girlfriend is your emotional heart.
Right.
So between those 2 little tricksters in the back seat of the car, as mum has taken them to the green juice shop, they want to go to McDonald's. And they will do whatever they can to conspire through you to be able to get you off track. Now, if you don't face that, you won't get intelligent heart. It is a way of being.
Right. That has happened to me this weekend. And I will tell you, I just put my hand up. I said, game over.
Good.
That's it. I'm done. And they have in. But every time I feel that, so sneak in, game over.
That's right. So, my suggestion is that we look at our minds like a giant.
Right.
It's either a giant or a mouse, or even an ant. Shrink it down. Look at it as a force. Now, it is a force that needs to be balanced. And so it needs to be shrunk, and shrink it down and observe it. like a mouse in the corner of the room. You know it's always going to be there. And you know it can nibble at your food and play up a little bit, but it's only a mouse. However, if you can shrink it further to an ant, you'll know the ant will sting you occasionally if you're in its way and it's threatened. And that's all you need to know, that you can shrink your mind and its vast and cunning intelligence. Put it to work for the intelligent heart. We have vast intelligences through our minds. However, put their cunning intelligence to work for us and say, shut up, go, I have this problem to deal with. Now you go sort it out and you come back to me in a half an hour with an answer. I'm waiting for you. I see it like this, Brie.
I love it. I love what you just said. Shut up.
Shut it up. Just shut it up. You are the captain of the ship. Right. You have arrived on the gangplank. You have given your crew instructions. You are going on treacherous journey. There is a lot of disturbance in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Now your crew are mutinous. No, we're not doing it. The mind-based crew say, no, we're just going to have them create a mutiny. And the emotional energies that are supporting the mind, the emotional heart, will say, we've got family. We can't take a risk. We can't be taking this long and dangerous journey. Now, you are the captain of the ship. You are the captain. You give instructions and say, I know the risks, but I know the benefits. Obey me or get off. Obey me or get off. And this is how we shrink our mind down. Who in your world, listening to you, does not want to live in peace and light? Everyone does. The most important thing we need to do is recognize the incredible power of our intelligent heart and just let it talk to us. And Brie, as you know from my book, Awaken Your Immortal Intelligent Heart, that the functions of our heart are phenomenal. Its glandular system, the fact that it's the biggest hormonal gland in the body, the fact that we've got 40% of it mitochondrial DNA, which fuels all life, the fact that it's got senses, the fact that it's even got a black heart. And I have this lovely story. I was at INATS in your country where I first met Christina.
Oh, okay.
That's how I met her. And she was just so loving. We just went, oh. Christina is my book publisher for our audience of my 4 books.
Right.
Big Country Publishing. She publishes those particular books. And we were in this heart-based energy. And Greg Braden was speaking at the event, and I lovingly went up to him and said, Greg, I love the way you're beginning to connect to heart intelligence. Here is my book, Awaken Your Immortal Intelligent Heart, and the heart's primary functions. And Greg said, I'll take that book. He said, it's my birthday today. I'm going to read it beside my bedside table tonight. And lovely Greg has now written extensively on intelligent heart and is using it, I believe, as a primary way of helping his clients, his students, and his world to move into heart intelligence. Right. It's a sad thing, Brie, when we need to have scientists prove something that the ancients knew intuitively. And it is to the ancient Egyptians who knew this intuitively and lived through an intelligent heart, through the law of Ma'at, through balanced heart consciousness, where the heart was weighed at the end of life. The heart was judged, the contents of the mind were sent out into the crows to eat or the birds to eat. The mind, the brain matter wasn't important to the ancients, only the heart. So when we look to the ancients for this amazing gift they've given us, let us begin now to really open up our collective heart consciousness in our world.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I really do. I think it's really important that people understand the ancient Egyptians and the way things were, because it's actually happening now.
Brie, we're going back to, we can't recreate a world that lived through the center of the temple and temple life, through the priestesses and priests,
Right.
through the pharaoh. I think the simplicity of living through the world the ancient Egyptians had would not, I just think we couldn't cope with the simplicity of it.
No.
However, we've got to take what it represented for our age, and we can't go back, but we can take the essential nature of the truths through the ancients, through the sages who gave us evidence in their tombs, in their temples, where we see hieroglyphics in reliefs of actual physical hearts, where the language was always the heart intelligence. We go back to Brie, to the law of Mart, the goddess, or she's a force of justice, peace, and order, balance in everything. And Brie, if we can apply the principle of that to our own hearts by saying, heart, I love you. I now expect miracles today with you. Show me. What happens is it sends the energy out.
Right.
It's telling the brain what to do. The brain is not running the show. The mind is not running the show, And so if we can just lower the volume, and if we can just tune into the heart and say, let's expect miracles. You tell me the synchronicities we need, and the heart sends a force field of energy out. It goes out into the vibrations. You will get phone calls from people you didn't expect. You will get messages from friends and family you haven't heard of. Suddenly, what was amazing in your business now becomes something you could never have dreamed of. Suddenly, what I see talking to Brie in America today is a miracle of massive proportions. And I never take it for granted. I just think it's such an incredible gift. I love it, love it, love it. And that's my miracle, my intelligent heart miracle. And I connect to our one hearts when I teach, when I read, when I heal. I say to people, I'm only linking with your intelligent heart. Right. I'm not doing anything outside what your heart wants me to give you. What does your intelligent heart want? For all your beautiful, beautiful listeners who are readers or healers or Reiki channels, I suggest that you connect to the intelligent heart of the person. You will take the weight off yourself. You'll take the pressure of their expectations on you. Right. And you can just begin to communicate with the intelligent heart of that person, and suddenly you have a perfectly accurate session. It's come from the heart of the person.
You know, that is so true, because I'm going to tell you what, I thought, can I do this YouTube channel, right? The channel we're doing on. I went, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do that? Then I realized the reptilian brain was trying to get involved.
Oh, yeah, it will.
And when I went, heart, I love you.
Yeah.
It shut up, was gone.
That's what we need to hear. And let its little sister go too. Its little emotional heart. Put them in the naughty corner, Brie. Just say they're in the naughty corner. You just stay there in that naughty corner for an hour and you just work out your stuff. Big Mama's doing her work.
That's right.
And those little kiddies will learn to behave properly, and you will train. They'll be the most beautifully trained children that you could ever possibly have. They know.
Thank you, because they need to be trained right now. So
train those little darlings, and keep training them, darling, and nail you till for the rest of our lives. And the most important thing is to know it in loving surrender for them too, because they're part of us. They're not evil forces, but their fear attaches to what is your DNA. There's your mitochondrial DNA, and then you have your DNA, the DNA that is inherited through both parents. And the mind attaches to the past, to karmic patterns, to karmic fears that are stored. Memories activate. The mind is very vast, and we just need to be kind to it and say, no, that's not us now. You're giving me a reminder of an old memory pattern. We are now shifting that exponentially. We're in heart consciousness now. We're not the same thing.
Right.
It's like a
Right.
child who's been abused all its life, and suddenly it's got to take abuse as an adult. No, we're adult now. We can make a decision. We're not the person who was abused as a child.
Right.
You don't need to live with that forever. We acknowledge the pain, we acknowledge the fear and the loss, but we don't keep recreating it.
You know what? I have a story to tell you about that. So, I was abused at the age of 9. It was my cousin.
Yeah.
And then another person. And I actually, when I came home in 2010, they wanted a family reunion, right? Have all the family together. Bree's not the same no more.
No, Brie ain't.
Little girl no more. So,
No.
and they were standing there because their mother didn't know anything, and she made them come. I said, "Come here. I got something to say to you. You may have touched my body, but you did not take my soul, my spirit, or anything from me."
That's exactly right, Brie. You claim authority. Claim authority.
I said, "I love you and I forgive you."
Yes. And more importantly, Brie, forgiving yourself.
Oh, yeah.
The first forgiveness is the forgiveness to the self. And when that self is forgiven, the force of love grows in your heart. The mind then shrinks and it doesn't recreate those abusive, self-abusive scenarios in all areas of your life, because it's the self-nurturing that a human needs. And when you're going into big process with heart intelligence, you must go into being very grounded, because the enormity of what you've created, it's like bringing your baby home from the hospital and there's no one to care for it. There's no crib, there's no cot, there's nothing. But when you go to a loving home and there's a father and their grandparents and there's people, you can do the job. You are the heart. So it's I feel that when you're going into process with big, old, painful issues that are going to test you, get grounded and get energetic support, so that when you dive into the reptilian cave of fear, you have got some resources, and that is to do self-nurturing exercises in your base or root chakra and get your grounding cord into the black heart of Earth Mother, so you're anchored and locked in.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened that day. It was like,
no, you don't.
I had to have gone down the root chakra, lock into Mother Earth and Earth Mother, right? And it just came flying out.
That's exactly right. You've done really well, because you free not only yourself, you free all the other women and children in your family lineage who have endured that abuse. And therefore you're freeing that karmic pattern for the future. You put a big no on those situations in every part of your whole DNA. And what happens then is that ancient aunties and grandmothers, and who may have suffered abuse and gone through their whole lives in your family tree on mother and father's side, because our DNA comes from both sides, that acts up in this respect, not our mid DNA, but the DNA through our reptilian minds, that DNA will then be shifted for those who are trapped at some level, at some soul level. You do an enormous service, anyone who's listening, to go and shift that stuck energy, because you shift the energy from the past and the future. And so it doesn't happen with children in the family tree in the future.
I like that. That's good. That's very good. So let's talk about your new book.
Oh, yeah. Let's indeed.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Well, Brie, it's a book for initiates, and it's a book for those who want initiation. When we talk an initiatory experience, we're not talking about having a good read. This book cannot be read by someone who wants a good weekend read. This book is an initiatory book. This book will test every single thing you've ever known about yourself. And I will say, do not pick it up or buy it if you are not ready for initiation. It is a book for initiates. It doesn't mean that you can't read it, but don't expect to get a quick answer, because it's going to test every single belief you've ever had about yourself in your humanity. In that respect, it's the most vital book you could have when you're ready to shift into heart consciousness and to walk on the direct path, the middle ground. Because you're in co-creation with the gateway guardians. And the book introduces you very simply to yourself and invites you to say, I'm at the international airport. I have my passport. I'm going on the direct path, the middle ground. I'm going to the final secret. The attendant behind the desk says, oh, that's a long way. And I say, I've got to go, give me my ticket. The book then becomes a reference for your gateways. The gateway attendant says, I am this gateway when the gateway of the high priestess. Come down my gateway, because this will be your first initiation if you are a woman. And if you are a man, the gateway of the high priest will be your first initiation. Regardless of sexual orientation, whether you're gay or whatever, you have come into the world in either a woman or man's body. It is to that guardian you go to first, because you then balance and open up the gateway to your own divine feminine if you're a woman, and your divine masculine if you are a man. So, Brie, the gateways proceed, and they initiate you through Earth Mother, from whom I've channeled directly, and a group of ascended masters called the Secret Heart Final Secret Guides. There are 2 channel teachers.
Wow.
Master teachers. However, your first initiate is your high priest, then your high priest. S. Now, if you're a woman reading this, you'll take the gateway to the high priest, but then you must then cross over to that base chakra and go to the gateway of the high priest, so that you have complete authority over your own inner divine masculine at the base chakra. When a woman and man can integrate their inner divine feminine and divine masculine and earth it, they're then in ascension. Now, the ancient Egyptians teach us the foundations of any temple were very carefully constructed under the great goddess Seshat, who measured. She measured with a certain rope the sacred geometry and alignment to the stellar forces assisting on certain days. And this great architecture, through sound, through music, through color, and through numbers, becomes us at this moment when we step into the final secret. We become our own soul's architect. We are putting down our roots to ourselves and saying, this is the foundation. I'm earthing my foundation. Your beautiful home that you're living in stands on firm foundations.
Right.
Very firm foundations. Your builders put down foundations. The ancients in their wisdom teach us this. Then as the book proceeds, you will be challenged by Earth Mother and the final secret heart guides to view your life in a way that you've never thought possible. Then you will go through a series of gateways, through the divine feminine, Isis, the immortals, the keepers of the mysteries, and Earth Mother herself. You will go through the gateways of the masculine, the all-truth guides, the all-love guides, the guides supporting you, the secret heart guides, and the final secret heart guides. You have 10 gateways to go through. Then you become your own stargate. You become your own star. You truly live with your illuminated heart. You are what the ancient Egyptians taught us, an initiate. Not only did the ancient Egyptians teach us this, the ancient Indian teaching us this, the Mayans teach us this. They taught us that the end of the gateways, where we integrated our 2 pillars, we became our star.
Right.
We became the star because we were in alignment. cosmic alignment with the forces assisting us. The book then invites you to say you can get off the karmic wheel. Because when you've got through this level, you're off the karmic wheel. You've bypassed your karmic destiny. You are in cosmic time. And this is a revolution. Why should we be punished lifetime after lifetime, recalling past karmic patterns? Working with the gateways, you can bypass your karmas sequentially. You are free from this karmic cycle. Now, this is revolutionary work, and it tests every single belief you've ever had about yourself. It tests patriarchy. It tests many aspects of feminine energy, because it's inviting you to co-create with your divine masculine high priest if you're a woman, and for a man to have to do the training to listen to the high priestess.
Right.
Now, if men can get into that space, it's going to free them up to receive and nurture. And the book's teachings invite people lovingly to find their own soul's blueprint. It's not the final secret for nothing. You don't get this level of initiation in a read. It's a book that is part of your core beingness, and it tests every belief you've had about yourself. So it's not for everyone, Brie. It's not going to be a bestseller. It doesn't do it like that. It's never going to hit the New York bestsellers list. Leave that to Dan Brown. But you know, it's not a good read. It's a book for initiates, and it's not meant to be a good read. It's meant to give you what is a blueprint for your soul's incarnation on earth. Who should not know the force and love that Earth Mother can give us if we are in service to her? Brie, by saying every day, I'm in service to the Mother, Earth Mother. I'm in service to you, Earth Mother. Whether it's picking up scraps of paper on the street or whatever you want to do environmentally, if you have a culture within your DNA of service to Earth Mother, you will get rewards. You will get earthed. You will go to the top of the class. Earth Mother's listening to her little daughter up here and her little son up here doing earth work. She will take care of her kid. She's a protective mother. And we don't know enough about Mother, Earth Mother, Brie. Humans don't know about the force under us. The forces, the matrices, the ley lines, her black heart. Well, the ancient Egyptians saw her as having a soul. And the writers say Earth has a soul. Modern humans don't see Earth Mother as having a soul. She's a soul. And can we see that she's got a soul like us? That she consecrated our first self. You wanted to come here. I wanted to come here. We all wanted to come here to bypass, to find out what karmas would develop and what we could do to transmute them. There's no reason we came on earth but to learn how to receive love. Every human, from the top of the great, the greatest to the weakest, all came to earth to learn one thing. Whether you're a criminal or whatever you are, if you've come here on this earth, you have come to learn to receive love. Now, unfortunately, what happens is that we come down, our karmas start activating, Brie. Our karmas start activating fast and furious. They activate as our chakras activate. In other words, our chakras, our energy belts activate karma. Each energy belt, each chakra activates karma. So over our lifetime, we've collected a lot of karmic baggage. So by the time we've hit middle age, that time when we just want freedom, we've just karmically overloaded, because we haven't been taught to say how I love you, to process the karmic load as it comes up. And that starts with our gender, the date of our birth, whether we're a Sag or an Aries, the time of conception, things like this. Why our parents were who they are. We go back into these karmas. And once we can begin to see how these forces activate, we then go into a new way of being human. That's all, a new way of being human.
I love it. I love it. I mean, you've been on my other shows and stuff, on the radio shows, and I'm going, every time I talk to you, I learn new things every time. And I've read books, and I still want that one. And Teresa wants that one, by the way.
The beautiful thing about this book is that it's an initiatory book. It's a book for initiates. For those beginning on their path today who've said, oh my God, what's she all about? And I would be saying that maybe too. I would suggest that you, suggest you start with awaken your immortal intelligent heart. Be kind to yourself. Life's a journey, not a destination. So start lovingly. Start with finding out the scientific evidence that I had to provide to prove that the heart was intelligent. Right. Start going here to your heart. I would suggest that start lovingly and dip into the world of heart intelligence. Then proceed into the alchemies of Isis for a woman, and I'll show you the books for your lovely clients and people. Regardless of gender, these 2 books are must-reads for women and for men. And then if you're bold and brave enough, switch them over, because that way gets you into detachment, power, order, balanced heart, mating partners, bringing in the force of power in your body to hold the force of energy that you've got. The responsibility to yourself comes from your earth. It comes from knowing why you're a woman, why you incarnated as a woman, why you are a man, why you incarnated as a man. You to develop your relationship with the high priest. The high priest is your archetypal, Jung called it the archetypal force. Ancient Egyptians, the height of power, they saw the high priest as the height of power, the height of knowledge, and the height of illumination. The ancient priesthood was an awesome sight to behold. We would have no parallel in our culture because it's patriarchy and it's politicized. Right. We have castrated men from their divine masculine, and in doing so, we have castrated women from their divine feminine, and we are running around with no understanding of our power.
You know, I think we can understand it if we get rid of some of the things that we've been indoctrinated with.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
I know, like with me, I had heard some things about myself, and I was really working on myself the last couple of years, especially the last 2 months. And you've known me long enough to know that.
I know, I can see it shows. I can see you have had an experiential shift in heart consciousness since we last spoke professionally. And I've observed you on Facebook over the years that we've known each other, and your consciousness has changed to awakening your immortal intelligent heart for sure.
Mm-hmm. But
I can see.
I found out that, you know, we're supposed to set these boundaries, right? These healthy, quote, boundaries. Because then you have bounding yourself. And then you limit yourself.
The biggest thing that we need to do is nurture and respect ourselves enough to know that we can have people around us who respect and nurture us too.
Right.
And if they don't, having boundaries comes as a byproduct. Because if I respect myself, I nurture myself. I'm in my heart. I'm realizing my potential, and I'm a blissful being. You won't attract vibrations of people who want to rip you up. But on the other hand, you then become aware of fools and time wasters. Suddenly, what seemed to be one person as a friend or colleague, suddenly you perceive as being a fool or a time waster in terms of your ascension. And so it's a process of not having to be aggressive in boundaries, just knowing there are different frequencies, there are different intents. I'm in ascension. I'm working on the direct path, the middle ground. Earth Mother knows, my great goddess knows, my great high priest knows, my high priestess knows. They will attract to you what you need.
Right.
This is no different than a mother. She
Right.
has a beautiful little child. The child goes to the kindergarten or the play school. The vibration of the child attracts what it needs, but the teachers and the mothers protect the little child. The mother protects the child in its awakening, like you going into the schoolyard for the first day. You are
Right.
protected, and we are protected. If you make an intent to go into heart consciousness, as it was what my heart wants right now, this is what my intelligent heart wants right now, you will be already vibrating into forces that activate, bringing people and events and situations to you. And it is to those you seize, to keep your antennae completely activated for those you seize. They're the ones you've got to keep your eyes. It's like getting the windscreen wipers of the car, clean out the
right.
all the wind and the rain and the insects. I want clear passage. So we're wiping our windscreen wipers every day so that we can get rid of the debris. They can go somewhere else because we've got on a mission.
Right.
Earth is a perilous place. Earth is an extremely perilous place if you don't have a roadmap. It's particularly tricky now with our political and social culture because we don't have what the ancient had were guides, temples, and energies that supported us. Our spirituality, it becomes a war of the mind, dividing against itself. This is not the way. The way is the way of the heart, the direct path, the middle ground, the way of the heart. Just say one thing, I'm on the path of the heart. I want the road to the heart. And the door's open, the gateway's open, and the secrets reveal themselves.
Oh my gosh, Carmel, that is amazing what you just brought through. I am so happy that you are on today.
It's my pleasure.
I think it's really important that people understand. So I've read all the Carmel books. Get them. They help me immensely. And I know other people that have read your books since you're on my radio show, and they're like going, Dr. Brie, where can we find more? Look on Amazon, look wherever you can, but find those books. You
will get them. They're easily available. We've got the Amazon set up for the main books, and if they want to dive into the final secret, of course, there's no problem in getting that as well through our, or just go straight to the websites. All the information is on our websites.
Okay, good.
Carmel at carmelglenane.com, www and www.atlantisrising.com.au. You will get contact with us. We're visible, we're global, we're viral. Come on Facebook, join Carmel Glenane Author. And that's a very simple way of connecting to us because I put feeds up every day on the bodies of work and how we are processing them here in our world, and they're part of the whole story. The story of humanity is your story, and you are ready now to step into the collective gateway of the heart, where you open your immortal heart to yourself and you call upon. Now, this important thing is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you have been working with your own guides and ascended masters and archangels and other beautiful beings, use them. Use them. They're from love. They're coming from the divine feminine. They're coming from the divine masculine, if they're masculine gods and goddesses. Whatever archangels have been part of our Western culture, angels, all beings are in the one heart. It's not separating us from each other. All the beautiful beings that you've known since childhood, Mother Mary, Archangel Michael, angels have protected you when you're 4 years of age, are all part of your new story, and they will be able to work better, do their work for you better when you've got your heart intelligence opened up. They'll be able to dive in and say, right, she can hold the force of our magnificence.
Well, I can tell you that. I can tell you this. My angels are real happy right now, and
Oh, yes.
Goddess Era is very happy.
Well, she is your force of might. She
Right.
brings through the force of might, balance, peace, and order, the direct path, the middle ground. You are on the direct path. You are on the middle ground. Call upon the smorgasbord of divine beings who can support you. It is from love that you're coming with your intelligent heart. You will be given so many beautiful beings to support you. And earthing with crystals, crystalline intelligence, earthing with sound, grounding and earthing through the vibrations of sound, give you a chance to free the reptilian mind so that the sound breaks down the force of the mind into tiny shards, so that it's not hitting you like the big iceberg that the Titanic flew into. It is a tiny shard. The mind put it to work as a tiny shard of ice, a sliver, not the vastness that we give it, and too much crazy mind power, games being played by people in spirituality. Get over it. We don't have enough time left. Get into your heart, get into its intelligence, get over yourself. Get over, if it's not working for you, truly, and you're not manifesting with it, just get over yourself. It's just so dumb to stay with things that aren't working for you.
Very true. Very true.
Don't, if it's not working for you and you've been doing stuff and it's not working for you, it's because your intelligent heart is not open to receive. It's because you've been giving and not receiving. You've been giving out because the culture puts sensitive, loving people into give before you receive. I've got to give to get. Get over that. Receive, then give. The law of Mati always said balance in everything. Feel your scales. Look at your scales. Is one side too heavy? If the arm goes bang down one way or the other, you are not imbalanced.
Right, right.
Elements must be balanced. It is so important to recognize our heart has elements: air and fire, water and earth. If you put a cake in the oven and you haven't turned the oven on, your elements of earth, which is your dry ingredients, and water, and eggs, which is your water, the feminine ingredients, can't rise. If you put the oven on too high, you'll burn your feminine energies. Right. So in other words, by balancing our heart's elements every day, heart, are my elements balanced? Is my cake of life ready? I'm expecting a miracle cake coming out of this oven. So once we begin to start working with those little small things, don't make a decision ever, Brie, for any of our lovely guests here. If you're too tired, if you're too emotional, if you're too angry. Why, Brie? You aren't grounded. You just aren't grounded. If you're making decisions while you're tired, while you're emotional, while you're angry, you will not make the decision from your heart. In other words, you use the liver, then starts acting up. It sends toxic bile to the brain. The brain begins to close down. The ancients taught us that the liver is the enemy of the heart. And the organs on the side of the liver, on the masculine side, the gall, and these organs on this, the masculine side, divine masculine side, are in fierce competition, believe it or not. The war is within us when it's not balanced, against the spleen and the pancreas and the feminine organs, which need peace and harmony to work your life out. Once we can get the understanding of how our organs create with us, we will then give our heart a chance, which is intelligent and harmonious and wants to sort the problem out. Your heart can and will save your life, and it has saved my life in a perilous situation by not reacting in an accident. Reacting through my reptilian mind, I would not be here talking to you right now. I was able to go into my heart and say, "Heart, I love you." And I was diving. I was off Fijian Island. I was very much under the water, 20 meters. I had a problem with my apparatus. I couldn't breathe. My whole body went into complete shock. I thought, I'm going to die. That's too far down. I can't get up. What am I going to do? When I kept saying, I've got 30 seconds, just work it out. How do I love you? How do I love you? How do I love you? My heart was actually able to show me how to reconnect the apparatus. So I was able to get back to the boat. Now that was a direct understanding of myself being under the ocean, not being able to do anything except using my mind would have killed me. It would have killed me because I could feel the panic, the shock and the panic. If we train our hearts to say, heart, I love you. Heart, I love you. In perilous situations, Brie, it becomes harmonious. I know of friends who have gone to have surgery with major heart attacks, keep saying, heart, I love you. And clients getting to the hospital and the doctors have said, we can see the damage, but you've been able to save yourself, so the damage is not so bad. Why? Right. Because the heart then will pour out hormones to support the whole totality. It is truly a massively amazing organ. Let's get onto it, and let's really as a group understand the force of it and its intelligence. That the ancients, all of them, whatever spiritual tradition you've come from, whether it's Christian, whether it's whatever, you will always be told about the heart, the primary seat of intelligence, whether you're Buddhist, whether it's Islam, whatever it was always the heart as the source of all life.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think that with our heart, we stay centered.
Oh, yes.
Love space. We can't do nothing wrong.
It's not possible.
No.
It's just not possible to do anything wrong because you're co-creating with what you are. You're co-creating then with the universal heart, because your heart then can lock into the universal heart, your loving heart. The heart then can lock into other forms of protection and support. Earth Mother you're immediately in alignment with Earth Mother because suddenly you're getting earthed. She can do her work in your earth. She can't do her work for you if you're running around ungrounded and unsupported by her. So getting grounded is different from getting earthed. Getting earthed is going under the ground energetically, going and finding your relationship with her forces, her fire, her air, her water, and her earth, and surrendering to those forces under the earth. Then you dive into her black heart, and then you rest in the arms of the mother. Brie, so many people I teach and work with find it very difficult to get earthed. They will get grounded. They will put their roots down to the earth. That's great, but their roots don't go deeply enough, because when the big storm comes, the tree goes over. Take your roots into the core of the black heart of Earth Mother. Wind yourself and be in co-creation with Earth Mother's forces and elements. Her minerals are our teachers. Her minerals are our greatest teachers. This is another analogy I give. Go and get a whole roll of toilet paper. Earth Mother is her age in the span of time, that whole roll. One sheet of toilet paper is humanity. Earth Mother has been around for a long, 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 long time. We are the one sheet, and there are probably 360 other sheets of toilet paper on the whole roll. So roll the whole toilet paper, and I've seen it done in a cave tour with a guide. It was a tremendous experience. The guide just rolled out a whole roll of toilet paper and ripped off one sheet and said, we are one sheet, humans. We are 100,000 years or whatever. Where is our humanity? We are here. We are one sheet. Earth Mother is so many billions of years old, and she's getting older and older. Science is finding that she's more ancient than we first thought. Let's find out a bit more about her, and let us Brie, as an earthling family, co-create through her, because she'll help us. We've got big work to do.
We do. We have a lot of work to do. We only have a little bit more time, but I want people to know about your school that you have.
Yes, well, I founded the Atlantis Rising Mystery School in 2006. The Mystery School is basically what I've outlined in The Final Secret. It is an ascension training school. It brings in the forces of remembering for our human consciousness. In other words, we're on a road. We have the first level through the high priestess, if we're women, the first level of training, to the second level of training for the high priest, if we're women. So the big job is the first level. It's the toughest because our minds rebel against women having to go and take high priest training in a patriarchal world.
True.
I hate it. But
That's
we can
very true.
bypass the mind and go into the consciousness of how the high priest of the ancient world ran and worked with energy. We've got access to that. And why shouldn't we have it? We then move through the second level, the self-respect energy belt, and that introduces us to the Great Mother Isis, the force of remembering through the feminine heart, and the All Truth Guides, divinely masculine, powerful beings who are very much featured in this book.
Right.
We then move through the third level of the Ascension program. It's called the Self, the Heart. We are then introduced to beings and training through the Immortals and then the magical All Love Guides, masculine and feminine, divine masculine and feminine, all the way through. We then meet the Keepers of the Mysteries, whom I first met in Egypt on a teaching tour in 2004, wrote about them in 2004. They're now in published form. And it was the genius of Christina Winslow that married them with another body of writing I had, divinely masculine writing called The Final Secret Guide. She says, put those together in that book. And then finally, we accumulate in The Final Secret. The integration of our Earth's heart with Earth Mother and the Secret Heart Final Secret Guides. Brie, it's a journey, not a destination. Step onto the path, the road will open. You can't talk this, you've got to feel it. Step on the road and the path opens. Our ancient teachers teach us that. One step at a time, but take a step. Small steps are better to take than giant leaps and stopping. Go slowly, go lovingly. Mm-hmm. And we invite your lovely guests to join us in Egypt for the Tour of Initiates 2020.
That's it. I shared that on my Facebook. You guys can all find that because I'm
good. Well, it is a tour for initiates. It is not a tour for those who want a tourist experience. There are great groups doing wonderful things. There are some groups doing work with goddesses and particular aspects of deities. My job is to take initiates, to introduce them to the totality of the ancient sites through integrating their own inner divine feminine and divine masculine, introducing themselves on day one to the high priestess and the high priest through the gateways every single day so that they become their own illuminated hearts. They become a star. They are a stargate. You are your own stargate heart. The job is to get us all into stargate hearts. Let's do it.
We're getting there. We are getting there.
We're there now. All
right, guys. I'm going to end this recording. Carmel's going to stay right there so I can talk to her for a moment. And we'll see you next week.
Hearts, I love you all. Hearts, I love you always.
And hearts, I love you all too.
Bless you all.